Welcome to your practice. My name is Lauren Eckstrom, and in this 60-minute class, we find the perfect balance. We start with 30 minutes of power yoga and end with 30 minutes of yin yoga. Have 2 blocks for this practice. Be sure to click subscribe below, and I'll see you at the end. So for today's practice, I would like to invite you to have 2 blocks, and you can place them near the top of your mat. And it would be nice to have that support for the second part of this practice today, or maybe during the flow part. We're going to start at the top of the mat today, standing. So coming into Tadasana, you might separate the feet hip distance, or some people prefer to bring the big toes together with the heels slightly apart. Always your choice. Drop the arms down by the sides. If it's appropriate and right, allow your eyes to close. A subtle bend in your knees so that you're no longer hyperextending or leaning forward into the future, the next moment. And as you let your arms drape down by your sides, put the attention down into the soles of your feet. Finding some relative stillness, even though the body still sways a little forward and back and side to side, as we're always in relationship to center. It's not a place we ever land and simply stay. And for a couple of moments, imagine that you could inhale up through the soles of your feet, all the way up through your spine and up through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, imagine you could breathe down the body, crown of the head through the spine and all the way back down through the soles of the feet, as if you're exhaling back down into the earth. And just 2 more rounds like that, inhaling soles of the feet, up the backs of the legs, the back body, crown of the head. Exhaling, and with your mind, tracing that breath all the way back down the body through the soles of the feet again. And one last time, inhaling all the way up, bottoms of the feet, back body, spine, crown of the head. And a large exhale as you soften and release all the way back down into the earth. And joining the palms together at the space of the heart as you bow your chin, and we just step into this balanced practice today. We'll move for our first 30 minutes, and we'll move at a fairly quick pace in order to build some focus and also some heat. And so from this place, with your breath moving in a balanced way, the sound of ujjayi as you begin to draw the breath in through the nose and along the back of the throat. On an inhale, circle the arms to the sky, lift up, maybe reach up, maybe the palms touch, not for everyone. And then exhale, forward fold all the way down, fingertips to the earth as you drop the head. Maybe fingertips stay on the floor, maybe hands to shins. Inhale, pull the chest forward, gazing slightly down, find a flat back, feel the backs of the legs open, hold here for an extra breath, feel the navel lift, and then exhale, place the hands down, step the feet back, upper push-up plank position. Remember, you can always modify if it's best. Take 1 more inhale, top of a push-up. As you start to exhale, rock forward onto the toes, bend the elbows, hover chaturanga, cobra or up dog. Take your time. On an inhale, roll the shoulders back, draw the heart forward. Rather than throw the head back, just look forward toward the horizon. And then from the pit of your navel, on that next exhale, up and back, downward facing dog, grounding into the hands, grounding into the parts of the feet that are touching the mat. Lifting up and out of the tail and aligning the ears with the upper arms as we just start to link this 1 breath per movement. And as you take a moment here and you just settle in for what's ahead, this reminder that to have a holistic system, it means that all the parts are functioning optimally. Within a yoga practice, what it means is that we give equally of ourselves, our dedication, our attention, and intention to all the aspects of the practice. Take an inhale, press the tops of the thighs back. Here we go. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop, feet to meet the hands. Flat back, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. To the sky, inhale, ride your breath all the way up to stand. Hands at the heart as you exhale, trace that center line, land back inside yourself. We flow. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, fold and dive down, maybe a little bend in the knees. Chest out, inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, lower slow, same out breath. We build the heat. Inhale, cobra or upward facing, always your choice. Down dog as you exhale, pause just for a moment to land back in your body. Out of the head, put the attention into the parts of the body that are touching the mat, somatically grounding. Inhale, lift the sitting bones up and back. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or float, top of the mat. Long spine, deep breath in. Forward fold, full breath out. Inhale, circle and rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, draw the hands right down back to the space of the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, awaken the back body as you bow in. Inhale, lengthen out, lead with the heart. Exhale, hands down, either step to plank and lower or float to chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Down dog as you exhale. And we're just here for a moment. On an inhale, press the thighs back. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step or hop, you land light. One breath per movement. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold, bow in. Inhale, circle and rise. Maybe you watch the palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart, the gesture of Anjali. Last time. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward as you let it all go. Inhale, lead with the heart. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower, slow, or float. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Just finding that meditative movement. Inhale, press up and back with the hips. Exhale, bend the knees, step or float ahead. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise to the sky. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands back to the heart. A little moment there to pause as we just start to shift. Bend the knees, drop the hips, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Be right here. Dedicating yourself right now, heels on the earth. Breath in the body. Notice where your mind went. Bring yourself back. One more inhale, reach up, maybe sit a little bit deep. Exhale, fold in, close the gap. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, step back and lower slow. You can float and lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Remember, vinyasas are optional. You can skip it. Down dog as you exhale. On an inhale, lift your right leg up and back. As you exhale, step it right through. Today, spin the sole of the back foot flat. Surya Namaskar B, warrior one. On an inhale, reach up. Draw the right thigh back. Rotate the left hip forward and stand into the blade of the back left foot. Take one more inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant the hands down, step right back, lower slow, same out breath. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg floats. Inhale, slow and strong. Exhale, float the left foot through. Pivot the back foot flat. Warrior one on your in-breath. Rise up. And feel those two movements of energy. Arms lifting up, what we call Udana Vayu. Soles of the feet pressing down. Left thigh descending. Apana Vayu, the downward flow of energy. It pulls length through the sides of the waist and the spine. Take one more inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant the hands down, step right back and lower slow. Elbows hug the waist or you skip it. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. We're going to keep moving. Press the sitting bones up and back. Exhale, bend the knees, step or float 2 times through, quick on the breath. Flat back, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale, sit deep. Exhale, dive down, hands to the earth. Inhale, glance out halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower, slow, or float. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog, right leg lifts, inhale. Right foot through, exhale. Warrior one breath, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower, slow. You could use your knees. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing, left leg floats, inhale. Left foot through, exhale. Virabhadrasana 1, inhale. Hands to the mat, exhale, step back, lower, slow, or just meet us in down dog. Inhale, shoulders roll back. Exhale, downward facing, one last time through, getting that heart rate up. Inhale, press back. Exhale, knees bend, step or hop. Flat back, inhale. Fold, exhale. Chair pose, one breath, sit deep. Dive down, get empty. Inhale, lead with your heart. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower, slow, skip it or float. Inhale, heart rising high. Exhale, down dog, right leg lifts, inhale. Right foot through, exhale. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, big breath in. Hands down, step back, lower, slow, or meet us in down dog if it's best. Inhale, your heart rising. Exhale, downward facing. Left leg floats up. Left foot floats through. Inhale, first warrior as you rise. Exhale, hands down, step back and descend. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Pause and down dog. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Stick your tongue out, exhale. On an inhale, press the hips up and back. Exhale, bend the knees, step or float, feet to hands. Chest out, inhale. Fold in, exhale, bend the knees again, sit back, Utkatasana chair pose and pause. Shift the weight into the heels. Keep the knees bent, take one more inhale. Pull the hands to the heart with the knees still bent as you exhale. And left elbow outside of your right knee, take a twist. Pause there for a moment, just stacking right shoulder on top of left. Imagine that you could press your left palm up into your right. So you're actually lifting the left waist away from the left thigh. And then from that place, as you find your version of the twist, imagine that you could find a little bit of cobra in the space of the heart. So almost as if behind the heart, there's a little back bend. Give it one last little squeeze. Back to the center, chair pose, inhale. Fold down, exhale, release. Chest out, inhale, make some space. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower, slower, float. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Down dog as you exhale. On an inhale, lift the right leg up and back. As you exhale, right knee to your left elbow, take a twist and hold it there, shoulders above your wrists. On an inhale, right knee to right elbow, tap and touch. Right knee to left elbow, exhale. Right knee to right elbow, inhale. Right knee to left elbow, exhale. Right knee to right elbow, inhale. Right knee to left elbow, exhale. Right leg all the way up and back, 3-leg down dog, deep breath in. Exhale, right foot through, back foot flat. Rise up, inhale, warrior 1, and pause. Land in the blade of the back left foot. Firm the left thigh back. Keep the right knee descending. Doesn't need to be directly over the heel. You find your version of it. Take another inhale, reach up. Pull the hands to the heart as you exhale and pause. Take another inhale. Imagine a string from the crown of your head to the ceiling, like you're growing up and away from the mat. Then exhale, lean out halfway. Left elbow outside of the right knee. And this isn't the best pose for everybody. So some of us might come up onto the back left toes and lift the left heel from the mat. Some of us might keep the sole of the left foot flat. And you know you need to lift that back left heel up if you're feeling a lot of impingement in the right hip. Impingement is bone on bone. It's like, can't really go anywhere else. It's not about flexibility. It's something that probably might not change in this lifetime. So you find the version of the posture that works for you. Again, just like that twisting chair, see if you can wrap the right waist back. Press the left waist up so that there's room for prana, there's room for breath. And then from there, reach the heart forward, maybe a little back bend behind the heart as you twist just your own amount. Doesn't need to be deeper. On your next inhale, rise up, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down, frame the front right foot, and then just straighten the right leg. Take a moment. Your blocks might be there. You could use those for support, low height, medium height, whatever is best. And bow your chest over your front right thigh. Let your head go. Take your attention inside. And so it's easy for some of us to put the priority on the power yoga parts of practice. There's sometimes the parts that give us that sense of vitality, sweat on the skin, heart beating, and maybe a little bit of distance from the craziness of life as we get into that flow state. Feels like a deep form of meditation. And so use this time to clear the mind, clear the body, so that we can prepare ourselves for the yin that's coming, the state of receptivity. On an inhale, rebend the right knee. If the blocks are there, you might move them to the side. Start to pivot onto your back left toes. Shift your weight a little forward and float your left leg parallel to the earth. Reach your heart a little forward and then float your hands up to your heart, coming into warrior three, standing on your strong right leg. On an inhale, float to stand, float the left knee up and into the chest. Pause there at the top. Take an inhale again, lifting up. So we always twist from a place of length. Right hand outside of the left knee or outside of the blade of the left foot. You could straighten the leg if you'd like. And then reach the left arm straight back behind you. Grow long from left heel if the leg is straight. All the way back through the left hand. Remember, you don't have to straighten the leg. You can hold the knee. Maybe you look back, maybe you gaze at the left thumb. Take a moment there. Challenge your balance without skipping a breath today. Give it one last little moment. On an inhale, return to center. Both arms to the sky. Lift up. Take a full breath in. And then exhale, float back to warrior three. Hands might come to the heart. Just give yourself that moment of inner balance. Spread the arms out wide like a pair of wings. Chest parallel to the earth. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, left fingertips under left shoulder, right arm to the sky. A moment in twisting half moon as you continue to draw the right thigh back. As you continue to hug the right hip in. Take one more inhale, reach up with the right hand. Exhale, fold over your standing right leg. Left leg still lifted. Right leg might be talking to you a lot. Wrap the right forearm around the right calf, maybe. Draw yourself in a little bit closer as you drop the head. And then dedicate yourself evenly to this part of the practice that maybe challenges you a little bit. The same way that you dedicated yourself in the opening as you ground it in. Take one more inhale, left leg lifts. Right fingertips down. As you exhale, start to bend the right knee. Step the left toes to the back of the mat, then step the right toes back and pause and plank. Hold plank pose. Take an inhale here and staying in plank. As you exhale, pull your right knee towards your chest and then inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, left knee into the chest. Exhale, step back to plank. You can keep going at that pace, or some of us are going to do this much quicker with Kapalabhati, breath out the nose. Last 10, you can follow me or go slow. Inhale to plank, take a breath. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows in. Cobra up dog, inhale, shoulders roll. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Pause in downward facing dog. Remember, child's pose is always here if you need it. It's a holistic practice, which means that there are times where we need to pull back a little bit, and equally there are times when we need to challenge ourselves. It's not for anyone else to decide what's balanced for your system. So you do the inner work, like the Buddha said, be a lamp unto yourself. You are your greatest teacher. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Stick the tongue out, exhale, let it go. Second side, inhale, press the hips up and back. Bend the knees as you exhale, look forward, step, float, or fly, feet to hands. Chest out, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Bend the knees, sit back, inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, hold there. And then as you find the weight in the heels, the toes maybe lift and spread. Resist the urge to drop your head. Take one more inhale. Knees still bent, pull the hands to the heart on that out breath. Then right elbow outside of your left knee as you twist. To the extent that's possible, you pull the right thigh back. To the extent that's possible, the knees stay side by side. And then as you sit down and in, can you find that balance that you found in Warrior One between the downward flow of energy, so the descending of the hips and the thighs, and the upward flow of energy as you press the right palm into the left, you elevate the right lung, the right waist, and you make space for the breath. Give it one last little twist and squeeze there. Inhale back to chair pose, reach up, sit a little deep. Fold as you exhale, let it all go, drop the head. Chest out, inhale, lengthen. Exhale through the vinyasa or not, you always have a choice. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale, flip the left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Roll the shoulders over the wrist, still holding plank. Without twisting the shoulders, they stay even. Inhale, left knee to left elbow, tap and touch. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. So you twist on the out breath. Inhale, left knee to left elbow. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, left knee to left elbow. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, back to three-leg downward facing dog, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step the left foot through, spin the back foot flat, rise up, inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Last time today. Take an inhale, reach up. Hands to the heart as you exhale, pause on the out breath. Take an inhale to feel your bottom ribs soften, your navel hug in, your spine grow tall. Then exhale, lean out halfway, get completely empty of breath. Hold the breath out and then take the right elbow outside of the left knee. Same advice here. You can pivot onto the back toes, lift the right heel, make a little space for yourself. And then pull the thumbs back. Reach the crown of the head forward. And as you roll the shoulders down the back, can you find a little smile on the face? We've said this in many of our other practices together, but we twist differently side to side. It's part of human anatomy. Maybe this side you have a little more space, maybe this side you have a little less. And can you just find your version of balance, which might just simply be your inner equanimity as you navigate it? One last little squeeze. Back up, inhale, Warrior One, just passing through. Hands to the mat, frame the front foot, and then rock the hips back and straighten the front leg. Drop in for a second, let go, let the head go. Do a little scan through the body, close your eyes, attention completely inside of yourself. Find a safe or at least neutral place where you can be in your body. Maybe that's the feet on the floor or the feeling of the breath. And then just notice, where are the places where the body holds tension? Maybe it's the shoulders, corners of the eyes. Can you soften those? Able to be in a strong pose and yet simultaneously at ease. That's what it means to go 50-50. On an inhale, start to rebend the left knee. Come up onto your back right toe, shift the weight forward and float the right leg parallel. On an inhale, float the hands to the heart, just passing through Warrior 3. On an inhale, rise to stand. Right knee pulls into the chest. Pause there. Press the sole of the left foot down into the earth. Lift the crown of the head to the sky. So there's that rebounding sense of energy. Left hand outside of your right knee or outside of the blade of your right foot. You could straighten the leg or not. Reach the right arm back. Open the chest. Grow tall. And then find one place for your eyes, not the screen. No comparison. There's nothing to look at. And you notice that that comes from ego. All that does when we look at somebody else doing a pose is it affirms where we are or it negates where we are. And that's not really helpful. Give it one last opening. Back to center on an inhale, legs still lifted, reach up. Back to warrior three, hands to the heart. Take a breath. We're just here for a beat. Spread your arms out wide, make space across the front and the back of the heart. Then right fingertips down, left arm to the sky, finding your version of twisting half moon today. Maybe there's a block underneath the hand. What supports all of your systems functioning optimally? Your spine, your hamstrings, your breath, your focus. Take one more inhale, lean back, open up. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Crawl your hands in, right leg still lifted, even though that left leg is talking to you a lot. Have a little sense of humor. Left forearm wraps around the left calf. Draw yourself in just to the extent that's right for you. Keep elevating up through the right leg. Close the gap between the thigh and the chest. Maybe you bend the left knee a little bit as you bow in. Release the left fingertips to the floor. Take an inhale. Start to bend the left knee, drop step the right toes back, and then step the left foot back to plank and pause, holding the top of a push-up. Take an inhale. Left knee pulls into the chest as you exhale. Inhale back to plank. Pull the heart forward, gaze ahead. Exhale, right thigh to the chest, a little curl in. Inhale, step back to plank. You can keep going slow like that, or one round of Kapalabhati, fast breaths out the nose. Here we go. Inhale, plank. Exhale, elbows bend, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Pause in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, knees to the mat, child's pose, big toes together. Separate the knees your own amount. Rest your forehead either to the mat or possibly on stacked hands or a block. Close the eyes. Take the attention inside. And energetically, we just start to mark a shift. Notice what happens to the quality of the mind. Some of us check in a little bit more as things slow down. Some of us start to check out. The breath is here to help us with that. Let's move with it. Take a deep inhale as you stay in child's pose. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. Through the nose, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Out the nose, 3, 2, 1. Through the nose, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Out the nose, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. If it helps you to stay focused, you might stay with the counting of the breath. On an inhale, lift the forehead up. Crawl yourself up to all fours, crawl your knees forward. Maybe cross your ankles behind you or roll your feet to one side and roll to your sitting bones. Have your 2 blocks nearby. One's gonna go behind you, it'll land under your heart. The other one will go underneath your head. I like to hold on to that one and set it up when I'm back. With your knees bent, keep your right foot where it is. Take your left hand to the top of your left foot and draw your left foot back by your outer left hip. And you can use the outer left hip to kind of hug into the inner left ankle and roll the top of the foot down toward the floor. And then keeping that leg in half virasana, you're gonna recline back onto that block right underneath the base of your shoulder blades. Take your second block underneath the back of your head at the medium or the highest height. And then drop your arms down by your sides. Palms could be down to the ground if what you're needing is a little extra grounding. Palms could be up to the sky, which is a gesture of receptivity. Let the eyes get heavy. Let the shoulders drop back as we start to move into the fascial tissues of the body. And this is a practice in which we hold the poses usually anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. We won't be in any poses today for 5 minutes. But the intention is one of receptivity. In this culture, we have a saying that relationships are about give and take. And take, of course, has a pretty negative connotation. When we imagine someone taking something from us, it doesn't feel good. That take has this selfishness to it. So wouldn't it be beautiful if we could reimagine every relationship, the relationship we have with friends, intimate relationships, even with our body, as give and receive. There's no relationship that's truly 50-50. There are times when we really need to be giving. Maybe someone is going through a transition or a loss, heartache, a time of uncertainty, and we need to be there to support them. And then there are times of receptivity when we're the ones needing to receive that support. And it's something that we as a global culture tend to struggle with more. So using this yin part of the practice today is a time to practice receiving the pose, slowing down, receiving your breath, maybe even receiving the places in your body that have been unattended to for quite a long time and are needing this nourishment. And from here, turn your palms down onto the ground if they aren't already. And then press into your elbows as you tuck your chin to your chest. Then one hand at a time, press the palms into the floor to lift the spine up. Keep your hands back behind you. Fingertips can face forward or back. It's really personal for the wrists. Keeping the left shin connected to the floor, the sole of the right foot connected to the mat. On an inhale, lift the hips up for a moment. So you get a deep stretch across the whole top of the left thigh, maybe across the left psoas. And then exhale, lower the sitting bones back down. 2 more times like that, little bit of movement. Inhale, hips lift. Exhale, lower slow. Last time. Inhale, press into the hands, sitting bones rise. It's not a big lift. Exhale, lower all the way slow. Extend your right leg straight out in front of you, and then keeping your left foot as it is, open your left knee out to the left. And you might scoot back a little bit so that your left knee is on your mat, it's padded. Then bring your hands right in between your legs. Take an inhale, lift up. And exhale, start to walk the hands out in front of you. And this is a place where a lot of us lack just any kind of deep mobility. So you might only come a third of the way or a quarter of the way or halfway. Be there. The moment that you run into some resistance, pause. You can take one of those blocks even. You could put it underneath your elbows so you have some support. And then I'll invite you to close the eyes. It can be so tempting, like in a meditation, to give into the restlessness that is inherent at the level of the mind and the heart. Closing the eyes just helps us to turn the attention back where it matters most, this time that you've carved out to be here today to do your practice. And then we titrate the experience. So for a moment, you might put your attention into the place in the body that feels pretty intense. Maybe that's your right hamstring. And for a moment, you're with that intensity, with the fullness of your attention. Imagining that you could breathe into the tension. But if we stay there too long, it's probably going to make the pose pretty unbearable, unless you're a glutton for punishment. So after a moment or so, you might move your attention back to a place in the body that feels really easy to be with. That might be the feeling of your breath in your chest or your belly. For some of us, that might just be the hands. The hands are often a safe or a neutral place. And then you go back and forth with the place that feels a little intense. You breathe into that. Couple of rounds. And then you come back to the place that's easy or at least neutral to be with. And you go back and forth. And this is how we learn very deeply how to stay with experiences. In the same way we did in our standing practice, take a moment, just scan through your body, notice where the tension creeps in. Have a lot of compassion for your body and yourself. This is the body's way of trying to protect us. It's not an enemy. It's actually not a problem. It's a beautiful thing. But the only way we can interrupt the pattern of tension is through awareness. So free of any judgment, free of any criticism, you notice where the tension is. And to the extent that's possible, you let it go. Corners of the eyes, hinge of the jaw. Notice if you're tensing the muscles of your glutes or your pelvis. And then wherever you are, on an inhale, walk your hands back in, lift the chest up, and we're gonna stay like this. I would suggest bringing a block outside of your right knee at the low or medium height. Place your right elbow there, make a fist, catch your right temple, or you can hold it if that's okay. And then inhale your left arm up and exhale your left arm over your head as you just take a really sweet side stretch. And rolling the left waist back. We won't be here that long. Rolling the right waist under. Finding one place for yourself to be, to breathe. And some of us might reach the arm all the way over and even catch the right foot, but gosh, it's not really necessary. So many different kinds of bodies. And some of us have hypermobility, and especially for those of us that do have hypermobility, we have to be really careful in these yin yoga practices that we're not searching for extreme sensation. That in fact, what you might need or what your body might need is not any more stretch, but maybe even some more strength. So can you engage the muscles as you do the posture so that you're not dumping into ligaments or joints? And give it one last little reach of that top left arm. Let the inhale bring you all the way back up, and then catch the left hand around the left ankle like you did to start. Point the left knee back to the top of the mat. So you bring the knees side by side once again. And then leaning to the right, float the right ankle above the left knee and release that left knee and bring it all the way around for double pigeon. Left shin underneath the right shin, or you can always cross the legs, right calf in front of left. Flexing the feet, inhale, lift the arms up. And then exhale and fold to the extent that's available today. Some people might even stay upright. The same invitation, you can put a block underneath the forearms or the head, tuck the chin a little. Let the gates of the eyes close once again. So it's just like the garage door on your home closing. It's this symbol of going inside. And breathe. And in yin yoga, the reason we work with the fascial tissues is that through the fascial tissues, through the fascia of the body, pass all of the blood vessels, all of the nerves. So the healthier and more hydrated that the fascia is, the better the communication is throughout the whole system of the body. Nerves can communicate more adeptly, muscles can slide and glide over each other more easily. And that's what we really want in a holistic practice, are all of these systems communicating and flourishing with each other in an even, balanced way. As often as you need to, you just remind yourself, breathe. Breathe again. You carved the time out. It can be so tempting to lean into the future, to lean into the next moment, the next part of the day, or the next pose in a practice. And what if you didn't? What if you stayed? These questions we've been working with week to week. On your inhale, walk your hands back in. Lean back on the sitting bones a little bit. Lean the fingertips back behind you, and then slip the right thigh tightly on top of the left into Gomukhasana with the legs. So we go from external rotation to internal rotation. You might just keep the hands on the soles of the feet. Again, just a gesture of grounding. You can keep the spine upright, full breath in. Or maybe you exhale and you fold. You could walk the forearms forward, rest the head down. Maybe you use a block for support if it's best. And presence, so important. When you practice being present for yourself in this practice, it helps us to have a certain quality of presence with each other throughout the rest of the day. And as many of you know, I have a young daughter and I take her on walks every single day. And from the moment she learned how to wave, she also began to learn that people don't always wave back, which in some ways was sad to see in the beginning. Her little face so confused why she was waving and someone wasn't waving back. And the more I just simply watched this, what became really obvious is just that people aren't present. Busy on their phones, looking down, listening to music, scrolling. And we've become so disconnected that sometimes even when people were looking right at her tiny little face and her tiny little hand waving, it didn't register that she was waving at them. And so we want to practice being present for ourselves so that we don't miss out on these really precious moments in life of sharing and connection. On an inhale, walk the hands back in, bring the hands to the outer edges of the hips, lean back, release the soles of the feet flat to the mat, much the same way you began on the first side. If you removed any blocks, set them up once again so you'll have that block back behind your heart when you need it. Take the right hand to the top of the right foot, bring the top of the right foot back to the outer edge of the right hip. To the extent that's possible, top of the right foot presses down to the earth. Left knee still bent, left sole of the foot planting flat, recline back, one block underneath your shoulder blades, one block underneath the back of your skull. Arms drop down by the sides. I like to lift and tuck the tips of the shoulder blades in a little bit more so that the shoulders drop back, the chest spreads. Let the arms get heavy down by the sides. Let the eyes soften or close once again, and then breathe down. And imagine that you could breathe not just down into your belly, but also out into the sides of your waist, these places we don't realize we actually build tension. And so it's not just an up and down breath. It's not just a side to side breath. It's a breath that really moves through you 360 degrees. And if you attend to your breath in this way, just fully focused on the sensations of the body being breathed, First of all, the time goes a little bit more quickly. And second of all, we have no choice but to be completely present. The thoughts about the day, the tasks that are ahead, the planning, all just kind of slips away when we're absorbed in the sensations of the body being breathed. So, how absorbed can you be? In the limbs of yoga, these are referred to as the states of dharana and dhyana, those deeper states of meditation, of complete focus and concentration. Last couple of moments here, last few breaths, stay. And in your own time, turn the palms down to the floor, prop up onto your elbows, tuck your chin to your chest. One hand at a time, straighten the arms, lift the heart, lift the chest, keep the hands back behind you. 3 times we'll lift just the sitting bones off the mat. Inhale, hips lift, right knee still pressing down. Exhale, lower the sitting bones back down to the mat. Inhale, little flow, you rise. Exhale as you lower slow. On the breath, inhale, press and rise. Exhale as you release back down. Straighten the left leg out ahead. Open the left leg out to the side. Right knee on the mat and pat it. Bring the fingertips in between the legs. Keep flexing the left foot and then walk the hands out in between your legs. Same work here. You might flop right between your legs, chest onto the floor. You might place your elbows on blocks. Palms together, maybe that gesture of prayer. And then bow the chin and check back in. It can always be helpful in this practice, especially as the time goes on, to remember why you started. When we remember why we started a practice, it just helps us to keep connected with that initial volition, that level of awareness that got us onto our mat in the first place, and that same level of awareness that keeps us coming back, even on the days it feels hard, even on the days we don't want to. And we're visited by these waves of wanting and not wanting, of softening and resistance. And this is part of being human. And we're not trying to practice our way out of that. We're just learning to how to come into deeper relationship with it. In the same way that the Buddha was visited by Mara, the representation of lust and greed, we're going to be visited by these aspects of our humanity throughout the course of a lifetime. It doesn't mean our practice isn't working. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with our minds, our hearts, or our bodies. On an inhale, walk the hands back in. Maybe take a block outside of the left knee. Place the left elbow onto that block, supporting the temple with the fist or the hand. Reach the right arm up and over the crown of the head. And then just a sweet side stretch. Again, one of our shorter yin poses today, but a moment to awaken the channel of the right side body. And these channels in yoga referred to as nadis, different energy systems. In Chinese medicine, different meridians. We can just feel this benefit when we touch all aspects of the body in the 6 directions that the spine moves: forward folding, back bending, twisting, and lateral side stretching. We just feel like we're more in balance. We want to keep these movements accessible and available to us, especially as we age. On an inhale, lift the right arm up. Come all the way back up through the center. And then bring the left leg and the right knee back together. Left leg is still straight. Right knee points forward, lean to the left, setting up for double seated pigeon. Left ankle above the right knee, and then release the right leg and sweep the right ankle underneath the left knee. So either stacking left shin on top of right or crossing the legs, left calf in front of right. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, fold your way out and down, breathe. If you find it challenging to stay focused, you can go back to the breath we did in child's pose, what's called samavriti. It's just an even, balanced breath. You can count the breath. The breath isn't choppy when we count it. It's smooth, inhaling to 4, exhaling to 4. You could extend that if your breath is longer. It's often a nice way to anchor the mind. For some people, staying with the sound of ujjayi, drawing the breath along the back of the throat, helps to calm and focus the mind, and that's primordial. It's the same sound that you heard when you were in your mother's womb. There's a reason why that breath is soothing. And for others, if your focus feels just deep and steady today, that's not a judgment. It's not a better place to be. It just is what it is. You might let all active breath go and just have a natural breath waving into and out of the body. So there's a place for you in this practice, whatever the quality of your mind or your heart is today. All the aspects of this practice, the different limbs, from the poses to the breath to the qualities with which we live our life, are like tools in a toolbox that you can draw on to support you in your moments of need. On an inhale, walk your hands back in, lean the fingertips back, and then slip the left thigh tightly on top of the right. Gomukhasana with the legs. Again, that internal rotation, something we're so often lacking in our natural movement throughout the day. You can stay upright, hands on the feet, it's enough, especially if there's a lot of sensation in the outer left hip, thigh, glute, IT. You fold forward, bowing down. You could use a block if it's best. As you close the eyes, maybe these last couple of moments of physical practice, you dedicate yourself all the way through to the very end. We never regret seeing something through to the end when we've made a commitment. You know, oftentimes if we cut a practice short, we cut a meditation short, we're violating one of the limbs of yoga, this idea of asteya. It's called non-stealing. You know, non-stealing can be interpreted as not stealing things from other people. But the truth is, we often steal time away from ourselves. And so you see something through, you see your practice through all the way to the end as a way of not stealing this time away from you, so that you equally value your physical health with your mental and emotional well-being. On an inhale, start to walk your hands back in. Place the hands to the outer edges of the hips, lean back once again, release the soles of the feet. And then an option for you today in your final resting pose, if you want to come back into that back bend, one block underneath the heart, one block underneath the back of the head, you can. Otherwise, just recline all the way back into Shavasana. Release the legs out ahead, let the feet fall away from each other, drop the arms down by the sides, and for a moment, rock the pelvis a little bit side to side, rock a little left and right. And then allow the body to become still. And in that stillness, we'll take a cleansing breath. Deep inhale through your nose. Hold it at the top. Sip in a little more breath. And open the mouth, let it go. And Shavasana as you rest. That same deep commitment to a whole and complete practice, a holistic practice, where you do not steal, especially this time, these last few moments away from yourself. Allow this next breath to deepen. And keeping the eyes closed, just rock the head a little side to side as if you could massage the back of the head gently into the floor or into the block. Eyes closed. Center. Inhale, bend the knees, place the soles of the feet flat to the mat. Shift the hips to the right, roll onto your left side, and then press your way up to sit in your own time. Crossing the legs, drawing the palms together at the space of the heart, bow the chin. And to rest for a moment with the effects of your practice today. And this might be a style of practice that you often resist, maybe like me. And so how beautiful it is to sit for a moment and just reap the benefits of an open body, a balanced mind, a steady heart, and gratitude for your practice, for the community that practices together, even at a distance, that felt sense of being in it together. On an inhale, draw your thumbs to your forehead for clarity of thought. Your fingertips to your lips for thoughtfulness of speech. Your hands to your heart for consistency of action, allowing your practice to guide you through everything you're thinking, saying, and doing. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale, let it go. Namaste.
I hope you enjoyed that class. If you'd like to join these practices for free, live, anytime I teach them, sign up for my newsletter at laureneckstrom.com. And for an amazing library of programs, audio meditations, single classes, wisdom talks, and so much more, be sure to visit me at innerdimensiontv.com. Thank you again for your practice, and I look forward to seeing you next time. If you haven't already, click subscribe below.